So this presentation contains the different methods of sludge disposal. After this sludge drying, how we can dispose the sludge. So sewage sludge treatment means it is a process that is used to manage how we are managing the sludge and how we are disposing the sludge produced that is during the sewage treatment. So sludge means it normally contains 90 to 95% of the sludge contains the moisture and it contains lesser amount of solid materials. And the primary sludge, it includes the settlable solids which is removed during the primary treatment in the primary clarifiers. From the primary tank we will be getting quantity of sludge that is settled at the bottom, and also from the secondary treatment process also we will be getting the sludge. So that sludge we have to dispose it safely. We can just use to cover the, and the sludge in the trenches, it may remains moist. It always remains moist, and malodorous will be, that is the odor will be high, that is, and it maintains there for several years. And after some period of time what happens is that the sludge will be get digested due to the microorganisms that is present in the sludge and also microorganisms that is present in the soil also. And after a long period of time, that soil we can use as a fertilizer also. So that area once used, it cannot be reused for the same purpose, for any other purpose, for a long period of time. So the first method of sludge disposal, it is burning. Just putting the sludge into the trenches and covering with the layer of earth on the top. So that is burying. Second disposal method, it is the landfill. The digested sludge can be used for landfilling also. So when we use the sludge for landfilling, it should be well digested without any raw or undigested sludge. It should not contain any raw sludge or should not contain any undigested sludge. The sludge should be well digested when we use that sludge for landfill. So either wet or partially dewatered sludge, such as obtained from the sludge drying beds or from the vacuum filters, they can be used to fill the low-lying areas. So where the wet sludge is used, the area becomes a sludge lagoon. If you are just putting the wet sludge, then that area we can call as a sludge lagoon. So when you use this method of sludge lagoon, then we can call that is a method of treatment. That is a sludge after sometimes drying, it is removed for final disposal, and the lagoons can be used not only for storing the sludge, we can use the lagoons for the sludge disposal also. So lagoons are normally, it is used for disposal also, and if we are using the lagoons for disposal, normally it is constructed in a sufficient depth, and the sludge is added in successive layers until the lagoon is completely filled. And the final disposal of the digested sludge by lagoon, it is economical as it eliminates, because it eliminates all the dewatering treatment. There are different dewatering treatments to remove that water from the sludge. So no need to go for those dewatering treatments. We can just dispose this sludge into the sludge lagoons. And the dewatered digested sludge from the drying beds and vacuum filters we can dispose of by filling the low areas even at the plant site itself, or we can haul it, we can use it to dispose it to some other areas without creating any nuisance. Once if you are removing that water from the digested sludge, that is using this drying beds, we can dispose that dried sludge, we can dispose to the low lying areas without affecting the surroundings. And another method, it is the incinerators. So if you are providing incinerators, if you are just after using the sludge drying bed, that dried sludge we can dispose into this incinerators and we can burn it. So around 600 to 750 degrees Celsius, the incinerators will be working, and there are incinerators which work at more higher temperatures. So that sludge will be converted into ashes. That ash, it is safe for, we can just dispose onto this land, or we can use as a landfill, or we can just thrown into this water bodies. It doesn't affect the environment also. So the ash from the incinerators we can dispose it by using this method of landfilling. And the sludge in the trenches, it may remains moist. It always remains moist, and malodorous will be, that is the odor will be high, that is, and it maintains there for several years. And after some period of time what happens is that the sludge will be get digested due to the microorganisms that is present in the sludge and also microorganisms that is present in the soil also. And after a long period of time, that soil we can use as a fertilizer also. Now another method of sludge disposal, it is disposing in water or sea. So this disposing in water or sea is not common method of disposal because it is very difficult. There should be a sufficient large body of water should be there, and it should permit the dilutions also, because the sewage when it is thrown to the water body, it has to get diluted with the water. And some sea coast side, the sludge, either the raw or the digested sludge, it may be barred to sea far enough to make the availability the required dilution and the dispersion. That is, if the sewage is discharged near the shore, what happens is that the tides will not allow to mix it up with large volumes of water. So due to that, what happens is that the sludge bank will be formed and some insanitary conditions will be created. So normally it has been seen that the sewage always reacts with the seawater and forms precipitate, giving a milky color to the seawater. So that is why, to overcome all these difficulties, normally a sewage discharging pipe should be carried out, should be taken sufficient deep inside the sea, about 1.5 kilometers, so that the sewage will not come back again to the shore by the heavy tides and create the nuisance. So normally at the outfall of the sewers, when we provide the sewers at the outlet end, normally it is provided with a reflux valve, that is to prevent the backflow of the sewage. And in addition, another thing is that the outfall sewer should be properly protected from the floating debris, also from the ships, wave action, etc. against its damage. So it is always better to encast that sewer in a thick stone masonry in such cases. So always, if you want to throw the sewage deep into the sea, it should that is the sewer pipe should carry at least 1.5 kilometers inside the sea. That is for the safety. Otherwise, what happens is that the sludge bank will be created on the shores and it will be difficult for the people also. It is polluting the environment also. And this method of disposal of sea requires careful consideration of all the factors. We have to proper design it and setting of the outfall, that is to prevent the coastal pollution or interference with the navigation. So if you are providing a sewers, it should be protected from the navigation, and also it should be carried deep inside area, about 1.5 kilometers, minimum 1.5 kilometers towards the inside sea. So this method is mostly commonly not adopted. So some certain factors, all these factors we have to take into consideration if you are providing the disposal of sewage sludge deep into this sea.